Okay, so you've constructed your two polyhedron halves. So you started with your top circle and then attached the sides to it. Then you created your bottom circle and attached the sides to it. Now you have two halves of a polyhedron, and it's time to start our final construction where we attach the two halves together. The first thing that you are going to want to do is remove any paper clips that you have on your polyhedron. The glue should have set up overnight, so that way everything is currently attached the way we want it to be. So we want to remove the paper clips on our other one, so that way we have more paper clips to work with. Please make sure when you're all finished with the paper clips that you return them to the container, any that you do not use today, so that way they are available for the next person. So now that we have our two halves, before we go ahead and glue these two halves together, just a quick reminder, if you have not written your name and hour on one of the tabs of your circles, please take a moment to write your name first and last and hour on the tab. If you're working with black, you might want to use a white colored pencil so it's easier to read. So once you have that started, I find it easier to connect the two halves with paper clips first and then go back through and glue them. So to connect the two halves, we're going to take a side tab from one half, a side tab from the other, and we are going to connect them so that they alternate. So you'll notice one is facing up, one is facing down, to start forming the sides of our polyhedron. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a paper clip there to hold it in place. So since this one's facing down, my next one needs to face up. And some of your designs you won't be able to tell this, but you just want to make sure that you're alternating one tab from one side, one tab from the other. And we're just going to go through and we're going to paper clip them in place to make sure our form is correct before we start gluing. And this is much easier to do after your glue has sat for 24 hours on your original construction. If you try and do this step the same day as the construction of your top and bottom circles and attaching your side circles, it can get a little tricky because your glue starts to move around and your circles don't necessarily stay in the correct place. So we're going to go ahead and finish up this last one. And I want you to notice I only used one paper clip to hold it in place. There's a reason for that. So now that I have it completely glued into place, I look and check my form, or sorry, not glued, paper clipped into place. I look and I check my form and I make sure it looks like it fits correctly. So if we look, our circle without paper clips is the bottom, our circle without paper clips is the top, and then we want to make sure that the side looks like it connects correctly. Okay, so I've gone through and I've checked this. Now it is time to go through and glue.